We're going to send a signal that can destroy everyone. So what you should do is take aluminum foil.
Hello and welcome, you beautiful bar stewards. I'm the Triggered Limey, and today we are taking a look at the absolute nutters that believe 5G and the emergency broadcast systems are going to activate the Lagerlurgy vaccines. Big thanks to Shisha for sending me this idea, and a massive shout out to Hasanavi, whose video gave me all the content that you're about to see. Please do check out both of their channels. Now, on with the video. Kicking off our craziness is this Twitter post by Wildest Truth Social Posts. They shared a few messages from some conspiracy theorists, starting with: user Sweet Patriot advises that you turn off your phones as well as put them in the microwave and turn off any other devices that are connected to the internet. They also mention how graphene oxide has been found in people that haven't been vaccinated. First off, no. COVID vaccines still don't contain graphene oxide, no matter how many times these idiots say it does. This is just more fear-mongering aimed at the truly gullible muppets of this planet. Second, 5G is not a signal to activate some secret electronics in your body, nor is it some sort of energy weapon. It is simply the fifth generation of mobile signal. It will allow for faster speeds when using the internet on your mobile devices. Basically, just think of it as the same scenarios when we went from 3G to 4G. It's just an upgrade. And as far as the emergency broadcast system test that this and other tweets are referring to, it's the same bloody thing as the ones that we get on TV and radio. It's a way for the government to warn as many people as possible about things like tornadoes, Amber Alerts, and massive discounts on pizza. Well, okay, not the last one, but I can dream, can't I? Looking at this thread, we have Fluffer Nutter wondering what benefit this test has. Gee, I don't know. Maybe the same bloody benefit that the emergency broadcast system warnings have given the public for decades, you thick piece. Okay, I'm gonna breathe. We're trying to cut down the swearing in our videos to keep them family friendly. I really do need to stop letting these get to me. It's just so difficult not to get triggered by such monumental levels of stupidity. It is definitely one of my all-time worst pet peeves, and it kind of takes me back to the good old days of people like Sleeping Warrior and, you know, just nostalgia. Anyway, Crazy 4K9S refers to the FEMA Maui situation, actually. Yes, many companies do have employees that are complete spanners. That doesn't mean that receiving important warnings from the system is a bad thing. I don't think, for goodness sake. Like, this has been around for decades, longer than I've been alive, I'm pretty sure, and no one's had a problem with it until now, where, I don't know, 5G and COVID conspiracies are all the rage. It drives me bonkers. Hi, Editing Limey here. The emergency broadcast system, as far as the United States is concerned, basically took over Conelrad, which you can look up on Wikipedia if you want more details, on August the 5th, 1963. From 1976 to 1996, although never used for an actual national emergency, it was activated more than 20,000 times in those 2 decades, which, you know, should hopefully scare the living out of the conspiracy theorists. It has since been replaced by the emergency alert system. Let's see, AMC 1000 and E Castillo then chime in to bring the mean IQ of the world down. In this next thread, we start with Dean Sitarchuk, I'm butchering that, I'm sure, so I apologize, who seems to think there is something dodgy about the start and stop time of the test if you add them together. Now, if you are far enough removed from a single-cell organism, you will realize that gematria, or however it's pronounced, and any other process of finding special meaning in numbers is just a load of bull. You can basically manipulate numbers to kind of get whatever you want. It's the same when they're trying to add up numbers that they get from words. It's just ridiculous. So the next one is the same. I'll read it just so you lot go through the same hell that I have. We have Sap saying, if you don't realize that your Wi-Fi can paint digitally a picture of your house and everybody in it, why would you have to worry about FEMA? You know, maybe it can, but what's the worry? Is it that bad if they know the layout of the inside of your house? I think the only people that would worry about things like this would be people that have something to hide, I guess. And then, sorry, I apologize, but I'm not wearing my glasses for the video because of the reflection. Sunshine Snowbird says, according to this article, your microwave will not protect your electronics, but here are some instructions, and then it links an article that teaches you how to make a Faraday cage. Good stuff right there. Very gripping. There is more derp from the other two people, but quite frankly, when I read their tweets, I ended up crying in the corner, rocking back and forth in the fetal position. So I'll read them out to you in case you're just listening and not watching, but I'm not going to make any comment besides that they should take the crayon out of their flipping nose and go back to school. So reading it to you, we are watching says, a blast of high microwave should do wonders for people with graphene oxide in their blood. And Arizona native says, pro tip, if you don't get an alert on your phone Wednesday, inform nobody. The last thing you'll want moving towards tyranny and communism is to request that you be added to the surveillance system. Don't worry, there are enough of those that will be close by if a critical alert ever does come. Okay, and I know I said that we were going to move on, but I have to comment on the last bit because it just cracked me up. All right, so they want to ignore the alerts themselves. I know I said I wasn't going to comment, but that bit just makes me laugh. They want to make sure they don't get them on their devices, but they're hoping that if an important one ever comes through, they're going to be, close enough to someone that does get it. For the say, yes. Oh my goodness. And then as far as
you'll be added to the surveillance system.
I'm sorry, but the government can monitor you with your phone if they want to, okay? They do have that ability. They can monitor you through your camera on your computer. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Maybe they just do it when they're, I don't know, when they need to and they're trying to find criminals or whatever. But yes, they can do that. So it's not about getting added to a surveillance system. You're already part of it. I mean, unless you're, not using computers with cameras, or you're sticking to landline phones or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. Now, before we do move on, I would like to take a brief pause to thank Empire of Arts for some artwork he made for me. Behold, Limey, Super Saiyan Limey, Vampire Limey, and my favorite, Samurai Limey. Thank you so much, Empire. I appreciate you. His channel will also be linked in the description.
The virus is baked into the shots and will be activated by 3 1-minute pulse waves at 18 gigahertz.
So now we move on to some videos. Yes, 5G currently operates around, I think, the 3 to 30 gigahertz range, although I think it can go up to about 80, which obviously does include 18 gigahertz. However, this range of wavelengths, they're all non-ionizing radiation, which means that the radiation from these wavelengths is not strong enough to directly affect the structure of atoms or damage DNA. However, it can cause atoms to vibrate, which creates heat. So long and direct exposure can damage tissue from said heat. However, it has to be very long, and because of that, it's extremely uncommon.
From the 5G towers all over the country, the government has been preparing for this for years now.
Yes, indeed. The government has prepared for this test of the emergency broadcast system by testing the emergency broadcast system, you Fruit Loop.
And will be released in October of 2023, according to attorney Todd Candler. Please take a look at this video.
We know that Marburg is not particularly contagious, but it has an extraordinarily high rate of fatality. And we know the mechanism by which this will be released, and that is inside of these shots that people already received, inside the lipid nanoparticles, the hydrogel.
There is no evidence whatsoever to support this claim, and that other guy said it was according to a lawyer. Not sure whether the guy that's currently on screen is this lawyer, but either way, what the hell does a lawyer know about vaccines, virology, immunology, whatever? Would these idiots go to a mechanic to get a liver transplant? No, there you go. Learn some critical thinking for F's sake.
There exists pathogens inside of the particles that have not yet opened. Those pathogens are chimeric.
First, the pathogens in a vaccine are simply weakened or inactive antigens. Antigens are basically a toxin or other foreign substance that induces an immune response in the body, and especially the production of antibodies. And second, chimeric vaccines are just the result of substituting genes from the target pathogen for similar genes that are still closely related to the organism to help build that immune response, but are much safer.
They include E. coli Marburg, Ebola staphylococcus, and brewer's yeast, amongst others.
Oh, you know, do you? How? Show one single report that shows these viruses being present in the COVID vaccine. Also, why not the flu vaccine? Millions of people get that every year too. I mean, face it, you have absolutely no evidence to back up your ridiculous claims. All you're doing is ensuring that gullible idiots refuse to get vaccinated and refuse to vaccinate their children, and so are more susceptible to contracting the Lagerlurgy. You evil evil, twisted son of a...
We know that upon the broadcast from the 5G system that is now deployed across the United States, the world for that matter, when they broadcast an 18 gigahertz signal for 1 minute, 3 different times as a pulse, it will cause those lipid nanoparticles to swell and release these pathogenic contents, thereby causing
tomorrow I die, Kaya.
that they've already spent the money on. It's already done, right? The Marburg epidemic, for purposes of the law, has happened, and now we just need the actual disaster to happen. And there's actually worse parts to it than that, including the 1.36 gene deletion that effectively will turn those poor people into zombies.
Okay, so can you explain the mechanism that was put in place to make sure that these viruses aren't activated until they've experienced 3 1-minute pulses? I've never met a pathogen that could count, so find this beyond preposterous. And apparently some people are saying it will actually turn some people into zombies as well. Go into more detail on that, please. I mean, do you think it will somehow render them brain dead? You know, sort of that kind of term for zombie, basically turning them into drooling vegetables? Or do you actually think they will become feral, violent creatures that have to hunt for brains? Stop spreading this complete and utter...
Hi, everybody. We're Sunday, the 24th of September. Sorry. Just wanted to say that it's very important to take all your electronical things, anything that can have Bluetooth, smart TV, smartphone, anything that is smart, that can get a signal from the... that can get a signal from the 5G towers, which, by the way, should be put down everywhere.
I mean, if it affects only smart stuff, you should be fine. And it seems that she is just another crazy that wants the 5G towers taken down. I mean, why are there so many people that don't want faster service?
The 5G towers, because on the 4th of October, they're going to send a signal from there that can destroy everyone.
Yes, the government wants to destroy everyone because they've simply grown tired of collecting all of that tax money. Will you please, for the love of Satan's sizzling sphincter, go the back to school?
So what you should do is take aluminum foil.
But where the hell does one purchase aluminum foil?
And wrap them up and put them in your vehicle 200 meters away from your home. And also take a place in your house, a room in your house, and put aluminum foil 2-3 times layers in that place and stay there from the 4th to the 5th of October.
So barricade yourself in a tinfoil room for a whole day. I thought the emergency test was only like 20 minutes long or something. I don't know. I think you've got your materials wrong as well. I think the room that you're looking for has more of a cushiony feel to the walls and comes with one of those beautiful jackets that makes you hug yourself.
And also you should have get a heavy metal detox, because all the chemtrails that they've been spreading have aluminum, and it is proven. If you don't believe me, just swipe your vehicle, put that dust on a paper, take an element and put it underneath, and you'll see all the aluminum that sticks to it.
What the actual... Look, now... all right, heavy metal detox. First off, aluminium, or aluminum, as they say in the States, isn't a heavy metal. Also, depending on the car, some companies now are switching from steel to can't even talk now. Some companies are switching from steel to aluminium, even though it's more expensive because it's more durable and also doesn't rust. And then again, what is this? Put it on some paper and then take an element. What element? There are a lot to choose from. You don't know what the talking about, really, do you? Oh, it's sad. It really is. I just hope that she hasn't been breeding.
So you have to have a detox, a heavy metal detox. You can get them, just look it up.
Yep, just look it up. Go to tinfoilhat.com for more info.
Well, this could be the difference between life and death for millions of ladies.
October the 4th, around 2:15 to 20 Eastern Standard Time.
Obviously, that date has already come and gone, and what do you know? No reports of people's heads exploding, no zombies, and no reports of Ebola, Marburgs, or whatever else they said in North America. And the sad thing is, these morons most likely still believe this waffle. I've had enough stupidity for today. Thank you all so very much for watching and continuing to support the channel. Please consider sharing this video with your family and friends, and maybe consider watching this video next, where I use Flat Earth ASMR to put you into a completely relaxed state by saying things that remove your brain's willingness to function. Enjoy.